Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy DB6. What you're about to see here are my stream clips edited down to the specific video. If you like what you see, comment your favorite part, hop on over to the live. I'm live every Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30 p.m. We watch 6 videos. So if you want to see everything unfiltered, uncut, come on over. Alright, right into it. The brutal collapse of Akon's Scam City.
In 2020, rapper Akon made an announcement that he was building his own $6 billion future city in Africa that looks like the hybrid of Dubai and the fictional city of Wakanda.
Yo, did y'all hear about Dubai fakes their fucking weather? They like legitimately have drones that go into the sky, into the clouds, and tell it to rain. Fucking sick, right? Don't need eardrums, to be honest. Yeah, fuck your eardrums, bro. It's a signature. It's called a signature, okay? It's my signature. I like to get loud.
Akon City is where innovation meets luxury, with 5 distinct districts designed to redefine urban living. See the African Village District, where modern waterfront homes beckon, and a sprawling, all-inclusive resort
this shit does
awaits
not
your
look
indulgence. Good. Experience exhilaration in the Entertainment District, boasting a cutting-edge multi-purpose stadium and a colossal casino for endless excitement.
Why does everybody who makes something new want it to look like it's from another fucking planet? Why can't we just make nice, simplistic, modern-looking things? Why does everything have to be geographically or geometrically challenged?
Excitement. Witness the future unfolding in the Tech District, poised to become the Silicon Valley of Africa, where groundbreaking technologies shape tomorrow's world. And of course, the essential Health and Safety District, because public services such as police stations, fire departments, and a general hospital are key to residents' quality of life. The Education District will provide comprehensive learning opportunities for both children and adults, ensuring growth and development for all. And lastly, the glamorous Sennawood District, which features 4 state-of-the-art filming studios, offices, and residential spaces, all culminating with the iconic Akon.
How are you gonna say it's a Sennawood district when you have 2 buildings that aren't even in the fucking district? They're not even in the same fucking area. What are you coming back to? Akon Scam City. He wants to build a massive futuristic city that looks like it was on the fucking ocean floor and it's all coral. It's just stupid.
Tower piercing the skyline to glorify the genius who created this futuristic urban oasis. For the past 4 years, Akon and his team have been preparing this city to be ready for you to experience by 2024. And just 4 years later, this is what Akon City looks like today.
Nothing.
Lies, corruption, collusion, a shady cryptocurrency, stealing native land. These are just...
Here we go to fucking crypto. It's always got to be a goddamn crypto thing. Jesus Christ, dude. I understand that you can do a lot of different things. You can make a lot of money. You could do a lot of cool stuff with crypto. Who gives a shit? Crypto has become the biggest scam in the fucking world. If you hear that something is correlated to crypto, 9 times out of 10, it's a fucking scam.
Just a few of the villainous acts Akon has been accused of during this disastrous project. At first, many of his supporters saw him as a noble man making valiant efforts to create a real-life utopia, but now they question why the guy...
You tell me Soul Survivor is a fucking common man now?
Who believes that all men are divine kings to be worshipped by women wants...
Alright, cancel Akon, get him the fuck out of here. Nope. We don't like those kind of people in power. But you know what people in power think like? That.
To create and lead his own city. But before we get into the fall of Akon City, it is important to understand the actual amazing achievements Akon has made for over a dozen African nations. After Akon made millions of dollars in the music industry, he wanted to extend resources to Senegal, which is where he is from. Growing up, Akon knew the struggles of living in the dark once the sun went down. The town in Senegal that he grew up in, like many others, had no access to running water or power. Local economies were forced to shut down businesses when the sun set, and families were constrained to candlelight and kerosene lamps to complete their nightly tasks, resulting in over 3 million deaths each year from harmful fumes and fires. In 2014, Akon Lighting Africa was launched. In the first year of Akon's Lighting Africa project, he brought solar energy to 14 different African nations.
Okay.
And although his intentions were noble, he had to implement borderline unethical strategies to convince nations to invest in solar. But before we get into that, a quick word from today's sponsor,
Akon the top G.
Cook Unity is the first chef-to-you meal.
No, it's not. If I'm going to get sponsored by anybody, it's going to be Factor. I've tried their shit. It's fucking delicious. Oh my god, this is like a 3-minute ad.
Think about the future.
So
he strategically approached nations who had upcoming elections, then installed solar systems for free in the village of the leader's choice, such as installing streetlights and solar panels for homes and businesses. Then it made those leaders look like they were invested in progressing their nation, which led to them receiving more votes from citizens. It came to the point that once that village was lit up, now the neighboring villages would bring pressure to the government and ask those same questions. How come we ain't lit up? Although many are critical of this tactic, at the end of the day, the communities are the ones who benefit the most. The solar electricity has allowed the vendors to operate for longer hours into the night and for children to study after dark. Also, just the simple installation.
Why, if he has so much fucking money to do this, why can't he just do it out of the kindness of his heart? Like, why can't we normalize people being good people instead of being con artist scammers? It's not that hard.
Of streetlights led to decreased crime rates due to the visibility the solar-powered street lighting provides.
Like, I get this shit costs money. I'm not ignorant to that fact. But he's literally doing it to put the people that he likes into political power. Like, that's just fucked up.
2020,
just
Akon
be a
Lighting
good person.
Africa has installed 100,000 solar-powered street lamps, 1,200 solar microgrids, and has created more than 5,000 jobs. But many people question how Akon was able to finance a project of this size. Sure, his music was successful, but we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in infrastructure costs. Well, he was able to land a line of credit for up to $1 billion worth of solar equipment with the finance arm of China Jiangsu International Group, which is a Chinese government-owned construction firm. Most of these African nations could not afford the upfront money for installing solar infrastructure.
Well, no shit.
But Akon's line of credit allowed the governments to pay in installments.
But when Bush was in power, Bush created a 200% tax on all solar or all solar-related and renewable energy coming into America. So all that investment, those billions of dollars of investment that China put into this was just sitting in factories and sitting in China, couldn't be used. So I took advantage of that and went down to China and to partner with some of those companies that couldn't use all that, investment that they already put for Europe and America.
Because of Akon's efforts, an estimated 28.8 million people can now enjoy the same benefits of electricity that much of the world has enjoyed for decades.
You've always said that China has done more for Africa than any other country.
I mean, it's true. That's not something anybody can argue with.
Yeah.
I mean, they came, they laid down infrastructure. They actually did something that the European countries been around for 400 years and did nothing. That's why if you see Africa now hasn't been developed. This was the responsibility of France, Great Britain, Italy, Germany. These guys have been in Africa forever and it's never been developed. China just started putting interest in Africa. Now you have roads, roundabouts, like they're actually putting structure down.
Now, China has been investing in Africa since the early 2000s,
Okay, good on
but their
China.
interest has dramatically increased in the past 10 years, having loaned $170 billion to 49 different nations. And while the Chinese government investing in Africa is a major step forward into the advancement of those nations, some people think that they have a secret evil motive behind their interest. Now, obviously, these Chinese investments need to be paid back. The problem is that Africa's total debt from 2000 to 2022 is around $1.8 trillion, which is 300% higher than Africa's GDP growth rate in the same amount of time. Basically, they're in a lot of debt and don't have a stable way to pay back the money. But that might be exactly what the Chinese government wants.
Of course
Debt trap
it is.
diplomacy, or the Chinese debt trap, is essentially their strategy of building expensive infrastructure and assets that these African nations cannot afford, secretly hoping that they will stop making payments and then China will take control of their land or assets that they just built. Now, why would China want to control a bunch of land, resources, and assets in the middle of Africa? Your guess is as good as mine. But these theories were
Your guess should not even be that hard. It's an untapped nation because they don't have the capability of doing it. Of course, there's going to be people that are going to try to scam them into giving up their land so that they can have it for themselves. Like, what? That was a dumbass thing to say. You should have just led with what the fuck we all know in our heads.
Spawned after an investigation into these loan documents.
In one report which analysed 100 Chinese contracts, it revealed that the loans are structured to give an advantage over other creditors and allows action to be taken if the borrower acts contrary to the interests of a People's Republic of China entity. There are also unusual clauses that shroud agreements in secrecy.
So what exactly would constitute as acting contrary to the interest of a Chinese entity? Well, that's really vague, likely on purpose. Who knows what would legally count as acting contrary? And as far as these unusual confidential clauses, well, that alone is enough for some people to believe that China is trying to be vague and non-transparent on purpose. But others believe that this is just extremely standard contract practices that the World Bank and any other small bank in existence provides, and that the Chinese debt trap as a whole is just more Western propaganda to 1. Demonize Africa more, and 2. Make Americans hate the Chinese government. Think about it this way. When you're buying a house, does the government, the media, or the banks call it a debt trap? No, they call it a smart and often necessary investment into your future. But if you can't make your payments on your house, they take it away, and now they own it. So wouldn't that make buying a
Everything is a trap when it comes to debt. Unless you buy something outright, technically it's a debt trap. But obviously this comes back to the political thing of propaganda. They're going to say something more of a negative connotation so that you think differently about a certain country. None of this shit should even be a fucking thing if they would have just done it for the right reasons. Why can't we just... Y'all had all that extra shit. Just give it to the people who don't have fucking light or water. Like, what? And all y'all bitches want to get on fucking Mr. Beast's ass and criticize him for building wells in Africa when he didn't do it for anything other than YouTube views. Like, he did it to help people and to get views, which funded the project. Did he lose money on it? Probably. I don't fucking know. I'm not his goddamn accountant. But the point is, he did it to be a good person. Yes, did he benefit from it? Of course he did. Like, he had to have at some point, or else he wouldn't have done it as much as he did, or he wouldn't have publicized it. But he still did a good thing. He's not taking advantage of them. He's not requiring them to do anything to keep it there. Like, he just recorded it, built a bunch of shit, helped a lot of people, and fucking called it a day. These people are in it to try to gain land. That's the fucked up part.
House an American debt trap? It just comes down to whether you think China is doing extremely standard business, or do they want these nations to fall short on payments to take over their assets and gain power in Africa. Regardless, Akon's relationship with these Chinese financiers and previous success with lighting Africa allowed him to pitch his newest venture, Akon City. He claims that he was able to get his $1 billion credit line raised to $5 billion with these Chinese investment groups. Following the announcement of the city, Akon went on a publicity tour promoting the new project.
The president of Senegal gave you 3 square miles of land.
Well, this is the thing. I had to actually buy the land, so it wasn't gifted to me. But what the president and the government are doing, they're actually laying the foundation for all the infrastructure on the land. The basic sewage, electricity, things like that. All the things that have to be set forth for me to build the city on top of.
Okay.
And they give me 100% full.
How the fuck are they doing
The
that?
city will be built on a 3 square mile.
How the fuck would they ever do that? That requires so much machinery and shit that I guarantee they don't fucking have. How the fuck are they gonna do that? You gotta be a dumbass to believe that this is becoming a thing.
Plot just 60 miles from Dakar, the capital and largest city in Senegal. Now 3 square miles is not a ton of land, that's 2,000 acres or a little more than double the size of Central Park in New York City. However, Akon says this version of the city is just phase 1 of a multi-phase plan. He also announced during this time that Akon City would operate fully on their own cryptocurrency called Acoin. Acoin is a stellar-based cryptocurrency designed to fuel rising entrepreneurs in Africa and beyond.
Bro. What the fuck even is a cryptocurrency? It's just something you put money into for the fucking sake of putting money into it. It doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like, he just started this coin out of nowhere. What is it? It's nothing. You're just funding Akon. Like, what? Oh my god.
Acoin will be used as
Yeah,
a
it does look
common
very
medium of
stupid.
transfer
This whole
between
concept is
Africa's
fucked.
54 countries, each with its own volatile currency, allowing African citizens and entrepreneurs to engage with the digital economy with only a mobile phone.
The fact that you're relying on a volatile currency to fund your city is mind-boggling. Take into consideration the word volatile currency. You want a stable currency. That's why people still cling to the American dollar, even though it's being inflated to hell. Because it's stable to an extent. If it's volatile, that means it can go up very far. Yes, the potential is endless. But it can also crash and fucking burn. What happens when that coin reaches $1 billion or whatever the fuck, or a large ass amount? Akon owns like a gazillion shares of it and just takes all of his money out. Then what? Then what? Then the coin means nothing and Akon's a fucking millionaire. Again. It's, dude.
People don't always have access to, bank
I'm
accounts.
getting
and
fucking
stuff, but
triggered now.
Everybody has a phone.
Everybody has a phone.
So with the phone, you can
Go to Africa, tell me how many phones you see. If they don't have running water and light, do you really think they're going to have phones? And that's not a shot at Africa. Like, that's not under their control. My point is, like, no, not everybody's a fucking phone, okay? The place you're building it is so underdeveloped. Why don't you just develop the fucking country? You want to be a goddamn savior of all.
make payments.
Absolutely.
And that's how it all kind of fits in.
That's
to the
where
thing.
it makes all the sense in the world.
Okay.
Acoin is not a groundbreaking technology. Many Africans
It's
have
not a
adopted crypto
technology.
for everyday use, as it is generally more stable and flexible than their country's native currency. But even before crypto was adopted, over 50 million Africans use M-Pesa, or mobile minutes, which is kind of like the Cash App or Venmo of Africa. Millions of Africans can transfer money to family members in different countries or pay for goods and services with ease using M-Pesa. It would be significantly easier for Akon City residents if the country was built around a more commonly used cryptocurrency or just sticking with M-Pesa. So why Acoin?
How much
Exactly.
Bitcoin do you actually own?
I mean,
All of it.
Akon said
All
it
of it?
himself. He is the bank. Not only is he building a city named after him, but also creating the currency that he controls and owns the most of. Before launching his Acoin cryptocurrency, the Acoin website announced a pre-sale opportunity called the Token of Appreciation, or TOA campaign. This pre-sale was treated like a donation, and donors were promised 4 tokens for every $1 spent. Acoin was launched on most major crypto exchanges in early 2021 and peaked at around 58 cents, which at the time was around a 132% gain for the TOA holders if they sold. However, the majority believed in Acoin, so they held. Within a few months, the price began spiraling down to roughly 10 cents per coin, taking TOA holders from a 132% gain to a 60% loss.
Wow,
Due to the
crazy.
shocking dip, Acoin admins offered a refund to their initial donors. One donor named Marcus said, "The refund was meant to come a few weeks later. We are now over a year, and we're back at the same situation we were years ago with the lack of communication, and now everybody's up in arms."
Once again, just doesn't make any fucking sense. We're funding something that isn't real. It doesn't exist. I don't get it.
But Marcus isn't alone. The owner of the Go Black to Africa YouTube channel showed proof of him emailing Acoin admins only to be ignored for years. The YouTuber wrote to Andrew of the Acoin Foundation requesting a refund on December 19th, 2021. Andrew replied 22
Also, it's kind of fucked up that people are asking for refunds for donations. It's a donation. If you're donating money, know what the fuck you're donating to. If you're stupid enough to donate to Acoin, knowing that it's going to fucking fail, because why would this succeed? The things he's claiming are not realistic. So if you're willing to take your money and give it to them willingly as a donation, you should not be allowed to ask for it back. That is your fucking problem.
2 days later and said that the YouTuber was added to the list for refund requests
That's like donating the toys to Tots and being like, oh, I don't know what toy you gave them. I want my money back. You're a dickhead. Same concept.
and we will be reaching out shortly regarding further details on how to proceed.
To be fair, if I donated and went to something that wasn't a donation, I'd ask for it back too. But that's the thing. Know what you're donating to. If you ask for a donation back, you are already in the wrong. You donated it to there. The keyword, donated. Whether it's real or not. That's why charities need to be vetted. That's why places that take donations need to be held accountable. Obviously, Akon is not being held accountable, but that doesn't mean that you're allowed to ask for your money back. Don't invest in something that's so unproven. Like,
the YouTube,
or not even invest. Don't donate. It's not like these weren't investments. They were taken as investments, but they were given as donations. Thinking of that like BLM. We're not getting into that.
provided his physical mailing address, which Andrew claimed was the next step towards it.
Even though stuff came out about that not being legit and the money going not to where they said it was going, people still didn't ask for their money back. They were just pissed off. These people should just be pissed off.
A refund, only for him to be ignored for 4 months with no refund, and now it has been 3 years and still no refund. When Akon was asked about these refunds, he said he had no idea there was any problems.
Now that I was aware, because I know all the people that I know that was on record. We definitely met with everybody, and this was the agreement that was actually agreed on. So if there was anyone outside of that, I definitely wasn't aware.
And those people who asked for their money back and were expecting it a year ago.
Dude's stoned off his fucking mind and is making literally no sense. He's just PR media pissing all over this shit. Like, he's not saying anything. I see what you're saying, but if you think you're donating to a good cause and you find out later it's nonsense, then I feel like maybe. Again, I understand what you're saying, and this happens all the time with charities. But asking for your money back is... just take the loss. If you go to the store and you buy a mug and you come home and the handle breaks after 2 days, you're not going to go to the store and be like, oh, that was a defective mug, I want my money back. You're going to be like, shit, I bought a shitty mug. That's what it is. I mean, maybe some people would, but again, I feel like I keep making comparisons and they're not hitting the way I need them to. A donation is a donation. Is it fucked up if things or that are donated to aren't what they said they were? Yes, that is completely fucked up and should not be a thing. Is it their fault? Yes. Is it right for you to ask for your money back? Not necessarily, because it was a donation. If you had any inkling that it was a bad idea, you should have done your research. If it turns out that it was bad after you did your research and everything was fine, then that's just unfortunate. Be upset and force them to make change by way of like petition or something like that. But getting your money back doesn't do anything. They need to put the money to where they said they were going to. That's what would solve the problem. In this case, it never should have even been a fucking thing. That's the point.
When will they receive that money?
Well, that I'm just literally on everything finding out. So I'm gonna definitely get more involved and figure out what that's about.
Cap.
But we do have instruments.
Akon, you ain't doing
sure
shit.
people are happy, even if I gotta go in my own pocket.
But as far as we know, Akon has not come out of pocket to...
Nah, Skillet. You're fine. You're adding great things for me to talk about and comment on. Also, you're entitled to your opinion, and if you think differently about the end of the day, that there's no problems with that. It doesn't mean you have bad examples, all right? So just keep your head up. There's nothing wrong with your examples.
To pay these people back. The coin eventually fell to $0.0029, which is essentially a 100% loss. At the moment, Akon is not listed on any cryptocurrency exchange, so nobody can buy it, sell it, or use it anywhere. It is worth nothing.
Akon had appeared that he was doing a good job, but it seems though that he is just like most who would want to use Africa only for his own benefit.
As if it couldn't get any worse, Akon City today is an utter ghost town. Last year, this picture went viral of one singular Minecraft concrete brick laid in the center of Akon City, showcasing an extreme lack of progress being made considering the fact that Akon said the city would be done by 2024. However, there is a little more than just this one stone. Today in 2024, you can see the first completed building, an extremely standard and non-futuristic building that they say is a recreational center. There's also another small, barely constructed building with a spiral staircase, which to be fair does look like a small version of what the original vision depicted. However, 99% of the land remains vacant with wild cattle grazing. Yes, technically construction has begun, but as you can see, this is a far cry from the futuristic megacity.
What the fuck is this infrastructure anyway? Like, this is just poor taste. Just build something of substance. If you're gonna do it right. do it in a way that's going to help people. This just looks ridiculous.
City we were promised. Akon blamed the pandemic, saying everything would be pushed back by 2 years.
Oh my God.
Which doesn't really make sense considering.
Okay, Akon, 2 years. You got 2 years. If this shit isn't done in 2 years, we cut your limbs off 1 inch at a time.
He announced Akon City to the international media when the pandemic was at its
Look at
worst
that bean.
moments.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part about the land
It's
that's
the
just
African
sitting
bean.
unused is that the land belonged to several hundred people who are still owed compensation from the Senegalese government. The first phase of Akon City was supposed to be built on 55 hectares of land secured by SAPCO in 2009, eventually expanding onto a further 500 hectares by the end of the decade. Macky Sall, the president of Senegal, said, "My problem concerning the land is not with Akon. My problem is concerning SAPCO, because it is them who took the land from the villagers." Originally, the Senegalese government's tourist board, SAPCO, was backing the project, saying, "We believe in Akon City and we are all supporting Akon so that Akon City will come to life. It will attract tourists and investors in the region, and SAPCO is fully committed to the success of this project." But most recently, they have sent Akon a formal notice that if the project has not advanced by next year, its contract with him will be terminated. And since Akon has massive.
How does that make any fucking sense? How are you going to say, as the construction company, to the person that you're supposed to be building it for, that if you guys don't make any advancement, you're terminating the contract? Wouldn't that be on you to make the advancement? Am I wrong in thinking that? Or are they talking about like funding? They don't have funding to do it. And in that case, Akon's not a billionaire. Also, where did all the fucking money go he got from China? Did that all go into Akon and sunk to the moon?
Massively overpromised
Stupid.
and massively underdelivered, people are starting to question his intentions in the first place. "I plan to retire in
I
that
would
city,"
too.
he says confidently. "I don't like to use the word king of the city, but that's what
He
it
has
will
to
turn
pay
out
them?
to be."
Yeah, exactly.
Words like this have made some people believe that Akon City is just an empire to inflate his ego at best and a corrupt billion-dollar scam at worst. Additionally,
Agreed.
Akon's views of the Western world's morals and gender roles has made people disagree with him as a leader.
But what happens in today's society, the woman chooses which role she want to play. In the last 10, 15 years, I haven't met a woman that can actually cook. I haven't met a woman that actually wants to clean the house. I've met the baddest bitches on the globe and asked to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom looked like shit. Hair all over the place, all kind of products. Like, come on now.
This is the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard. This is, oh my god. Oh my god. I'm refraining from going on a 3-hour rant about dumb-ass people like this. This dude is painful to watch. Fuck Akon. Fuck Akon. Fuck Soul Survivor. You're an asshole. You're a piece of shit. Oh my god. Why would... Oh. I'm just gonna get through the video.
That's a natural instinct.
I'm with you.
Maybe this could just be a joke, but Akon does follow a very non-Western style of raising his 9 children with 7 different women.
Single time you're at every single recital.
No, that's a white man's thing. Who gives a f about a recital? The reason why people like me can't spend every single day and minute with their children is because the mother's job is to be there with the children.
You shouldn't have had fucking children. Oh my god. It's people like this that we can't move forward as a fucking society. Holy shit.
The man. My job is to provide comfort so the mother can provide and raise those children to be like me. Now, if it's a man, when a child gets to a certain age, that's my responsibility now to show him what it is.
How does that make any fucking
role and
sense?
responsibility is. But you can't expect a man to conquer the world if he's home with children. In life, there's roles.
Yes, you can. Nobody's asking you to spend every waking second with somebody, no matter who that is, whether it's your spouse, your kid, whatever. But fucking be there, you shitbag. Oh my god. It's like it hurts you to spend a moment with them. You can't go to a fucking recital? Really? You're that busy scamming people on fucking cryptocurrencies that don't fucking exist? Shit. Nobody wants to be like Akon. Exactly. I agree 100%, Skillet. See, this... Not bad takes. You're fucking spitting right now.
Yeah, no.
A man has his role.
Yes.
And a woman has her role.
Yes.
But the day the woman believes that the man is supposed to share her role with her, then that means she's lacking. I don't go pull my wife out to the construction site to go pull nails and 2x4s.
We're talking about
You're not even fucking out there, Akon. Jesus Christ. How can you say this shit? You're not fucking doing it either.
Not her plate. A guy ain't got time to be in the house all day with no kids.
Now, this could be chalked up to just a traditional style of raising a family, but sometimes he justifies his beliefs with
Holy
extreme
fuck.
levels of bro
Holy
science.
fuck.
So,
I'm
as a woman,
gonna have an
her
aneurysm.
role is to support the man. The man, we are the kings and the divine of this universe.
No.
A woman can never compare to the man.
How can you say that? How can you say a woman can never compare to a man? Who brings life into this fucking universe? Not you, dumbass. They don't need your stupid ass. They can fucking get it on their own if they wanted to. Holy shit. Men are divine and the women is nothing. Bitch, how the fuck did you get here? How did you get here? Who brought you in here? Did you get pissed out of your dad's dick? No, you didn't, dumbass. Fuck you.
Man, they have to understand that here in America, the woman don't create life.
What are you, a fucking seahorse? Are you a fucking seahorse? What are you talking about?
They support the creation of life. A man right now can create life without a woman, but a woman can't.
On what planet? On what fucking planet? What the fuck meth did this guy take? What shrooms and acid did this guy get solicited to by Mike Tyson to take the fucking think this way? What the fuck is he on about?
Can't create life without a man. If I wanted to create life right
And
now,
look at all these dumbasses. Look at all these fucking stupid ass people hyping this guy up. Oh yeah, no, you're right, dude. You're right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, who needs women? Oh yeah, I'll just jerk off all day.
without
Fucking
a woman,
idiots.
I would just shoot my sperm, put it in the incubator, and just.
That's not how that works, dumbass. Go to fucking sex ed. Go back to high school, stupid.
Give it 9 months, even maybe less with today's science, and a baby will be born. A woman can't do that.
Hopefully in Akon City, he is not in charge of the education curriculum because his science is considerably off here. Akon is likely referring to vitro gametogenesis, which is essentially creating an egg and a sperm outside of the human body to create a life. And the answer is no, we cannot do this right now. We can fertilize a female egg and a male sperm in a lab environment, but in order to give birth, the fertilized embryo must be transferred back to the woman's uterus.
Wow, that's fucking crazy, isn't it? That science is literally disproving your fucking dumb ass. Holy... Oh my god.
At the absolute worst,
Middle fingers to Akon. Middle fingers to Akon. Fuck Akon.
Akon could be a scammer with a god complex, who is willing to take Chinese money to build infrastructure that African nations cannot afford.
He's not. He's just not doing that either, though. He's not even taking the money to build infrastructure. He's just taking the money to be a fucking cuckold.
Only to line his own pockets while these nations crumble and get taken over by the Chinese government. Or
Okay, I'm done. I've had enough. My head is starting to hurt because of this fucking video about Akon. Holy shit. Oh my god. Chat, please tell me I'm not alone. Please tell me I'm not alone.